were 9 people shot on the Hollywood Broadwalk. Several of the victims are children, including a 1-year-old. We do have live team coverage on this mass shooting. Annalise Garcia is standing by in Hollywood. She'll have the latest on those victims.
Memorial Day on Hollywood Beach turning chaotic after gunfire erupts.
I just seen like a wave of people just running out.
Hollywood police say 9 people were shot due to a dispute between 2 groups. This tower cam video from the beach captures people running for safety.
So, as many may already know, or at least hopefully do know, there was a mass shooting in Hollywood Beach, Florida, which is just about 30 minutes north of Miami this past weekend. Once again, a mass shooting in a Republican-run state. I mean, this has to be an easy layup for the mainstream media, right? I mean, we already know they hate Governor Ron DeSantis and his whole anti-woke agenda. So this is a perfect time for a knee-jerk reaction, especially to advocate for more stricter gun laws. Especially just recently, Governor DeSantis just passed a permitless concealed carry gun law that basically strengthens Florida's Second Amendment rights. And like I said, we know the media hates DeSantis and they hate America having access to their guns. So once again, this is perfect for the mainstream media to attack him. Just way too easy. Reminds me of that Tupac song, I Get Around. I hate to sound sleazy, but tease me. I don't want if it's that easy. Or maybe it's not just that easy. Maybe something's just not lining up correctly for the mainstream media. Maybe it's because of this?
Local 10 cameras capturing 6 young men detained by Hollywood detectives, officers seen with guns searching an area near the Broadwalk, and an officer standing over a bullet casing. Police say 1 person of interest was detained, and they are looking for another person. And so police also released these photos that they do believe are of the people involved in this shooting, people of interest they are looking to talk to at this time. If you do recognize them, you are urged to give police a call. Hollywood Beach Police and the mayor also expressing their disappointment and disgust when it does involve children being shot.
Wow. The media, man, they're so obvious when it comes to what their agenda is. It's too obvious. And what narrative fits that agenda. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people either A, ignore it, or B, are so ignorant that they buy into what's being told to them. I mean, notice there that they didn't even mention the skin color or race of the shooter or even the perpetrators. I mean, that's just typical reporting by the mainstream media. Neglect to mention that it was a black man in a yellow hoodie. I mean, the report even said that he referred to him as a person of interest or people of interest. But we know if it was a white man that did this would be all over CNN, MSNBC, Good Morning America, you name it. Hell, if the man was a Mexican but had a tattoo that could be connected to a white supremacy group, like what happened here in Dallas just a month ago, the media was quick to blame our Texas governor, Greg Abbott, and his gun policies. But when it's a black man, oh well.
Wait a minute. Peter didn't shoot my son. I did. Peter was just taking the blame for me. He's a good friend.
Mr. Brown, what exactly are you saying?
I'm saying that I, Cleveland Brown, a black man, shot Cleveland Brown Jr., another black man. Wait, where did everybody go? You want to make the media go away? Just mention black-on-black crime.
I tell you, whenever the media ignores violence that's committed by other black people, that's racism. That is when Black Lives Matter needs to come out and protest, or as they do, riot. Because if black lives truly do matter, then criminals who threaten those black lives, they should be put on blast and severely criticized. I mean, come on, seriously. But no, black lives are just a joke to them. I mean, let's see what the NAACP will say about this. Because, I mean, they got to say something, because just last week, they advised a travel ban on Florida, saying that it's unsafe for black people to go there, let alone live there. You think they will say that now? Knowing that the shooter in the past event, this past weekend, is black? No, because they are the sellouts, not me and whoever agrees with this take. But you know what? I don't mind the name calling for disagreeing with them on this. They can call me a coon, Uncle Tom, whatever, because this is the truth. It truly is. And once again, I never understand the whole Uncle Tom reference I'm being called sometimes, because it just displays the ignorance of people. Because Uncle Tom, if you read the book, was beaten to death for not telling the slave owner where the other slaves ran to. So basically, he did not snitch on his own people. And I thought that was a good thing in our culture, not to snitch. They said snitches get stitches, right? But what do I know? I'm just an idiot on YouTube. And speaking of idiots and the mainstream media staying silent, can you guess what happened in Chicago this past Memorial Day weekend under Mayor Brandon Johnson's leadership? Take a guess.
Well, with the holiday weekend not even over yet, it's already been extremely violent. Those numbers since Friday night, 43 people shot and 10 people killed. The violence continued during the early morning hours. Police tell us 3 people were hurt in a shooting at around 1:45 this morning in the 9100 block of South Harper. 3 people were standing on the sidewalk when someone drove by and opened fire. A 59-year-old man was shot in the left arm. A 57-year-old woman was shot in the head, and a 77-year-old man was hit in the back. All 3 were taken to local hospitals. Over the weekend, another deadly shooting in Lakeview. 35-year-old William Hare was shot and killed while walking with a friend near Broadway and Surf early Saturday morning. He is one of 5 people shot over the past 4 days in that area. Last night, police say a 2-year-old boy was shot while playing in a bedroom with an adult when a gun went off. The boy was hit in the right hand. It happened near 79th and Hermitage. Earlier that same day, in the 1500 block of Jonquil Terrace, a 2-year-old girl was hit in the hand after she found a gun and accidentally shot herself. Both children are expected to be okay.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, in a statement, said the violence our city experienced this weekend is intolerable. I am committed to leveraging every single resource at our disposal to protect every single life in our city.
We can't ask police officers to do everything to solve all the problems. We can't ask just one elected official to solve all the problems. It really does take communities working together.
Ahead of the weekend, the new mayor announced a summer-long holistic public safety strategy with new funding for community-led youth programs. Leaders of that effort say it needs time to work.
Different face, but same old taste. Looks like not much has changed in Chirac. And not much has changed with the mainstream media not highlighting crimes committed by black folks. Now look, I'm not so oblivious to the fact that to say that, there's no racism. I mean, to me, racism is like cockroaches. No matter how much you try to get rid of it, some will always be there. I understand that. So yes, there is a negative stigma, with us black men and violence to where we at times, we can be, racially profiled. Negatively. I felt that one time when I was pulled over by a cop for, no particular reason. It was by random, as I recall him saying, he just randomly pulled me over. But like I said, it was a feeling. That's how I felt. I had no concrete proof, But when you do have concrete proof, like right here, when you look at the FBI statistics that stated in 2019, 2,900 of the 6,570 homicides were committed predominantly by black men. That's roughly about 44%. And that's based on a population of black men that's in America of roughly about 7%. I mean, that's crazy. 7% is committing 44% of the crime. And for us to say, oh, the FBI is just, racist as well. We can't live this way. Because if the FBI comes out and says, or actually they have come out and said that majority of mass shootings are by white men, and we agree with that statistic, but we don't want to agree with the statistic that makes us look bad, that's confirmation bias that basically leads to cognitive dissonance of where we stand in American society. We have to address these issues if we want to get better, if we want things to be fixed. Otherwise, stories like this will just end up, by the wayside. I mean, think about the mass shooting that happened in Alabama this last month. You don't recall that mass shooting happening? Maybe this is why.
And we have more breaking news tonight. A sixth person has now been arrested in connection with the tragedy in Dadeville.
Another teenager now in custody. 6 suspects accused of shooting into a crowd at a Sweet 16 birthday party, killing 4 and hurting dozens more.
2 of those recently arrested are cousins, Johnny Brown and Willie Brown Jr. Johnny is 20 from Tuskegee. Willie is 19 from Auburn. And tonight, the Tallapoosa County DA confirmed for WSFA 12 News a 6th arrest. It is a 15-year-old whose name was not released. They now join brothers, 16-year-old Travis and 17-year-old Tyrese McCullough of Tuskegee, 20-year-old Wilson Hill Jr. of Auburn. All 6 of these suspects are now charged with reckless murder.
So yeah, whenever the mainstream media doesn't highlight mass shootings because the shooter is black, once again, is racist. It truly is. As most times, the person on the other side of that bullet is black. So the media is basically saying, black people, don't worry about being threatened or killed by another black person. That's what they're saying. And that reminds me of another song, except this time by Biggie, where he basically said, you ain't nobody till somebody kills you. Except with the media, it has to be a white man that kills you in order for a black person's life to matter. I tell you, don't be fooled, people, man. Especially as black folks. The mainstream media isn't our friend. Hell, they ain't nobody's friend. Except for the overlords that pay them. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you know in the comments below, because will this mass shooting this past Memorial Day weekend, will it just fade away? I believe it won't. Oh, actually, I believe it will, sorry. But tell me, do you think that it's going to fade away? Because it seems like this is just a recurring thing that happens and it's just pushed to the wayside. And a lot of people tend to ignore it and don't remember about it. And it just happens again and again and again. And we go nowhere. So what am I missing? Let me know. Really appreciate it.